It's the morning DNA for April 5th, 2021. I am Aaron Dicer, the man of a single black shirt. She is Danae Hughes, the woman of a million distractions. And we are here to find out what this
day is made of.
This day is made of. You got it. I was going to let you finish. You can do it.
What today is made of.
Look at you drinking water. I can't do that. It would spill all over the ceiling right now if I tried to drink water.
Yeah. So how's that view going for you?
They got it right off the bat. I'm in Australia this morning. I completely reproduced.
I like Jet Smith's comment. April Fool's is 5 days ago.
But we haven't been on. We haven't done a show since then.
All
right.
I don't know how do you do that? I want to do that.
Well, you can. You have the same camera I do. You just have to run through your camera software, and it has a bunch of different options.
Never mind.
I can show you how to do that.
Already bored with it.
Nope. You get bored so quickly. So quickly.
It's because I process information so fast, and I think to myself, is this worth my time? The answer is no. It's quick. I just run it through all the system. The system's like, yeah, that's not worth your time.
Nick throwing some Kong versus Godzilla, Hollow Earth in there. That's a great comparison. Yes, Danae was on one side of Hollow Earth. I was on the other, for sure.
There you go.
Lolly says April Cools lasts all month long, and you're not wrong, Lolly. Lolly knows all about April Cools Day. As a fellow April 1st birthday person, Lolly would know all about that. So
JCD said I could have just turned my camera upside down. Also true.
You know, there's always a simple answer.
I sort of want to do that really bad now. Thanks, JCD. I hope you're feeling well.
Yeah. How was, well, you know what? I would ask how your weekend was, but I know we're going to get into it later in the show, right? Like, this is a thing.
Sure. I can tell the story now and ask the question later. That's fine.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What happened today? Today, what happened?
I got some sun. I don't know if you guys can tell, but technically I'm a little bit tan. I got sun. I forgot to take sunscreen with me, and I went outside. There's a sun outside, everybody. And I was out there for a lot longer than I thought. So I got stuck in the woods for a long time over the weekend. On Friday, we went out about 90 minutes or so out into the middle of nowhere here in Missouri, where a friend of mine purchased some property, and they're going to be coming in to live on that property in a few weeks. But the local friends all gathered on the land to assess it and make sure we knew where our friends, when they get here, are going to park their camper. And we're going to be doing some work, like clearing out brush and cutting down some trees and just putting gravel. And Friday was our assessment day, not our work day, our assessment day. And so we got to the property, my mom, my dad, and I, and he pulls up onto the land. And at some point, either on the road just outside of the property or on the property itself, he popped both tires on the driver's side. So the first tire we noticed pretty early on. Dad changed it. He's like, well, that was a bummer. We'll have to just, drive this donut off the land now. And then hours later, when we're about to leave, is when he noticed that the other tire was also shot. So we thankfully had a couple people with us. We had 3 vehicles all together. They tried to put other people's tires on. We were trying to do all this stuff. We actually just had to put the busted tires into the van with the other people and send them on a 2-hour journey to go either get them repaired or purchase other tires in the closest nearby town, which was not close. They were in the woods. So my dad and I had to hang out and wait. And so we hung out outside in the middle of nowhere. And you know what? It was actually kind of nice because it's in moments like that you have no choice but to just chill. I couldn't do anything. I had 80% battery, and every once in a while I'd get a cell connection, but mostly no. And then it was just, hangout time. So we walked the property trying to figure out where the tire busted. And then we started playing a game of Chuck-a-Rock, which what a great game, guys.
Oh
I
yeah. Yeah.
highly recommend this game.
Totally agree.
The road that runs by the property is something where they just come and they just dump a whole bunch of, I wouldn't even
Mhm.
call it good gravel. Like there's super pointy stones,
Mhm.
which likely popped our tire. Um, so we just sat there, picked up rocks, and chucked them across the street to a Bud Light can that happened to be hanging out there. So I am now the Chuck a Rock champion. My
Nice.
my father and I were hanging out the entire time. There was also a lot of cows, and so we did try to introduce ourselves to cows. I really genuinely was tempted to try to pet one. I definitely
Mm.
stood at the fence line conversing with them from a distance. I have
Mm.
video of an attempt to get one to come hello,
Mm.
come here, little buddy.
Sounds like a very moving experience,
It
Danae,
was
honestly,
moving.
when you
It's
talk about
moving.
your
The
day.
worst part of it, I think, is just it was a comedy of errors. Just to kind of fast forward to how things sort of went, they came back with new tires. I think 2.5 hours later. AAA had also come eventually. It took them over 2 hours to get to us. When they eventually arrived, we had to tell them to leave because we had sent the tires away, and you can't put a car onto the back of a to get towed away with no tires. They have to have
Mm.
tires. Otherwise, it's just sitting on the wheel well, and that's not good. So we had to send AAA away. um, and then right as the tires got back, the vehicle fell off of the jacks and the wheels sunk into the ground. So then
Wow.
we had to call AAA, get them back, and eventually made our way off of the land with ticks and everything. I had some ticks going on. Let me tell you what, guys,
Wow.
I am not made for the woods. I didn't take like any spray for bugs. I didn't take sunscreen. I did have water. Nope, that's not true. I had tea. So I was not prepared for any emergencies, but thankfully we were fine. We met a whole bunch of neighbors, like out there, it's just nothing but like farmers. And after the whole event finished, we had
Yeah.
met all of the neighboring farmers who had eventually stopped to see if we needed help. So that was cool. We got to kind of meet them. And we were offered places to stay if we were stranded. So, the sun did set and we still weren't off the property yet. And it was cold. And I just kept thinking, like, worst case scenario, we would have gone and knocked on the neighbor door and been like, guess we're camping here tonight. So, yeah.
I
Yep.
did see a article yesterday that the Missouri Conservation Society is asking people
Oh,
to keep
God.
their ticks
Yes.
because they're doing studies. So did you happen to keep your tick?
So no, it was definitely an unexpected tick find. I got home and I took the really long hot shower after you've been in the
Hmm.
woods. And I
Yeah.
had already looked for ticks and I hadn't seen any. I had found two on the property, but then none when I got home. And I was, like loofahing it up. And
Hmm.
then I looked down and there was a tick in my loofah.
Oh no.
I was like, ah, no. So then I turned the
Because then you have no
water.
idea where that tick
I didn't
came
know where it
from.
came from. But I do have like right where one was attached to my back that I found
Hmm.
while I was on the property. It's like bumped up and
Oh
it's like
no.
red and irritated. So, uh, oh, prayers to you, Lord, that everything's fine. So yeah. I took a really hot shot. Our hot water heater it's too hot. Uh, The people who lived here before, they wanted
Lava.
lava scalding. And
Yeah.
so I haven't changed that because every once in a while I like lava scald too. And that is what happened. I took an additional 3 showers. And one of them as hot as I could bear it. And I had put like a whole bunch of like shampoo and conditioner in my hair to try to like loosen anything up out of my
Hmm.
hair.
Yeah.
And I'm just in the shower like, die! Die!
uh,
Oh God.
Sendamon is trying to
It
take
was a
care of
lot.
you. Does it have a red ring around the bite? Have you had someone look to see
I
if there's a red ring around
I
it?
can't see it.
Okay.
But I need
I
to.
don't suppose that's something you want us to diagnose right
Hey
now.
guys, let me just grab this camera, whip it around, and show you my bag. Yeah, I do need to look and see if it's got a ring around it because I'm getting a little freaked out after talking to my family yesterday about ticks and then someone mentioning that you're supposed to collect your ticks.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that
Anyway,
article. I was like, really? Like, I
yeah, they're
can't
like, put them in
imagine.
a baggie, bring them to us. The joke around the Easter dinner table was that they want them so that they can what what is it? Whenever you catch and release, like you take them somewhere else, and you put them in a new habitat.
That's usually a fish term, catch and release. But
Right.
yeah,
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 we were kinda anyway, so that
that's
was
fun.
literally my Friday. Uh, I was glad to be home. I was really happy to have internet connection though, because, I was able to update Aaron and then my work team, and they were really keeping me entertained because they kept talking about how I was in a horror film the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so it was
So
good stuff,
you kept your composure, did what you were supposed to do.
except for the tick thing apparently.
Did you ever get angry? Were you ever ticked? Was that That's quite a journey, Danae. Quite a journey.
Yes, it was
I'm
a
glad
journey.
you're
I'm glad to be back.
back safe and sound. It's interesting. I am about as far from an outdoor person as you will get, but I do occasionally go on like trail walks or those kind of things. And
Oh my gosh.
I just the
Sorry.
whole time I just think about all of the things outdoors that are, not in my control. Whereas in my home, there's so much under my control, my environment and, temperature, and I can get a glass of water and there are no ticks in the ceiling waiting to jump on me, like all that stuff when I'm outdoors. And I'm just like, I don't get anxious about it. It's just always on my mind. So, yeah.
Yeah. Once I was telling this story to a couple of family members, they told horror stories about a time that they went on a bike ride through a wood trail that had a lot of like low hanging branches. And when they got home, my cousin, had 150 ticks on her.
Hmm. Hmm. More tick than human at that point.
Oh gosh. I mean, it kind of made me feel a little bit better about my circumstance, but
150. I don't
they,
even understand
yeah,
how that's possible.
I,
Like,
like
I
all
guess
over
they're
her
small.
clothes, and they're really small. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Would
Okay.
you rather?
No,
Would you
no, no.
rather?
So you see this right here? That is a mole. I
Uh-huh.
didn't know I had that mole before the weekend. I was like, oh my God. Oh, okay.
Just a mole. Just a mole.
It's just a mole. It's just a mole.
Would you rather have
Ugh,
150 ticks
ugh.
on you or 50 leeches?
50 leeches.
You'd rather have the leeches.
No, neither. What are you talking about? If I have to choose,
Yeah, would you rather?
I don't know, man. I kind of feel like I'd rather be able to see them because ticks are so small. Like
Mm-hmm.
in the chat is my mother, who is also on the property. This was on
Mm-hmm.
Friday. It is now Monday. And she just found a tick on her because it was tucked away on the back of her knee. Those
Mm-hmm.
suckers just get in there places you
Yeah.
don't even want to think about that they will go. And
Well,
so I kind
the
of think
leeches are
maybe
the
the leeches.
suckers, but yeah.
Well, but okay. You
Ticks
know what I'm
ticks
saying.
ticks do it is a blood thing with ticks though, isn't it? Don't they feast on our blood?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's all vampirical. It's all
Yeah.
very vampirical.
But I'd rather see them. I think I'd rather because like Slenderman says, rather have leeches. At least they don't carry Lyme disease. Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah.
Chris Backinson, would you rather fight 150 tick-sized leeches or 50 leech-sized ticks?
Oh, mercy. Yeah, I
Next
think I'd go
time
with
I
the
am
leeches too.
spraying myself in DEET. I'm just gonna be like, dip and DEET, then go. Because I'm going
Dip and
back to
DEET.
the property this Saturday. I return to that land and for a huge work day from like 7
Uh-huh.
a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm gonna be out there. Oh, I'm itching already.
It's the bug repellent of the future. Dip and Deets.
Dip and DEETs. They sell them in those like kiosks,
Right, right.
God.
I don't even know if that joke
Oh,
lands with people. Are Dippin' Dots still a thing? Do people
I
are
hope
like
so. I
and
love
do they
those
still go
things.
by the ice cream of the future? Is that still the tagline? I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Oh
I'm too
man.
old. My references are over such a span of time that I'm never sure if they're still still relevant. But we're glad you're safe, Danae. If
Oh my
nothing
gosh.
else, we're glad
Well,
you're safe and home.
I
And
feel like it's like you're safe, Danae, ... because I still have to check this thing on my back for a ring around the rosy.
sure,
And
yeah,
I'm super feeling weird about it. Okay. All right.
yeah.
All right.
Well, we can
I'm gonna
ignore it
calm
for a
my
little
brain
bit.
down. I'll calm
Hmm.
yeah.
Ignore
Yeah.
it for a little bit and kind of chat about other stuff. You want to shoe a dough?
I'll ignore it, says the girl who ignored her cat scratch fever one.
Wait, no, you're just setting it aside for like another half hour to an hour.
Okay.
And then once Hughes is around, you'll have him check it out and just make sure there's not a ring around it.
Oh, don't be fooled. The second this show is over, I'm calling my mother. We're gonna get on a video chat. I'm gonna be like, Mom, tell me I'm gonna live.
Tell me it's all gonna be okay, Mother.
Mom, I don't know what that is. She's gonna say,
Uh,
Danae, it is so inflamed because you keep scratching it. Maybe don't touch it. Okay, I can't
fair
touch
idea.
it. I cannot touch it for this whole hour.
You ready to shoe a dough today?
No.
Okay.
I'm still distracted.
Sure. Take your
Okay, I'm
time.
ready.
All right, let's shoe a dough. We've got a Monday show for you, which used to have the FAQs, but no longer has the FAQs. Danae, have you thought about replacing that with a segment you like or anything like that? Or are we just going to go into the DNA and you?
I thought about replacing it with those really like wonderful cards that just make people feel some kind of way about life. I got some positive feedback. People sent me private messages actually, kind of saying that they really appreciated just the perspective of those. So I thought we could do that. But we could also just do like a would you rather. But yeah,
Which we already did.
which we already did. We actually didn't answer that one though.
We didn't. I thought we both said leeches.
The would you rather fight 50?
Oh, the fighting one?
Yeah.
Well, that one was worded weirdly because I think the numbers should have been reversed, right? Because it was like 50 of the smaller thing and 150 of the bigger thing. And I'm like, well, 50 of the smaller thing, of course. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I just think the answer should be 50 tick-sized leeches so it's over faster.
Right. That, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
By the
So,
way,
yeah.
Chuck-a-Rock, the game Chuck-a-Rock.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this before we get
Okay.
into the DNA and you.
Okay.
Chuck-a-Rock is basically the impetus for every single sports ball game there is. Like
Oh my gosh.
that is where sports ball starts, is with Chuck-a-Rock. Specifically the game you were playing where you're trying to hit something in the distance. That's basketball. That's exactly what basketball is chucking the rock towards a target and trying to hit the target.
It was incredible to me how quickly it was like, so what do you want to do? And it's like, well, we could throw rocks at that thing over there. It was almost instantaneous.
And then the next thing you know,
pass the time?
the next thing you know, you're saying, I want to chuck a rock, and you grab that stick and see
And
if
then
you
we're
can
gonna
hit
hit
the
it.
rock. See if you can hit
Yeah.
the rock, or if I can throw it by you. And then you've got baseball. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like that's it's so interesting to
Chuck-a-rock.
think about how the sports that millions and billions of dollars are spent on every year
Is from
started
boredom.
because people just picked up rocks and were, trying to figure out a way to pass the time.
My husband
So-
joked, he's like, "Oh, well, I guess it's like 1990 all over again or 1980 all over again." Dad's like, "Talk about my youth," because he was raised on a farm,
Mhm.
or in a farming community, and he did farm work on the regular. And yeah, chuck a rock. He's like, "Yep, this is what we do. Just chuck a rock."
Chuck a rock, kick a rock.
Mhm.
It's one of the two. One of the two.
Yeah, we did that too. I do
As
want
long
to.
as you didn't kick the can, that's the main thing.
I do want to. I do have a video. I could show the cow video of me talking to the cows.
Okay.
Maybe
You wanna
that's
show
something
it?
that we can do.
All right, let's
Yeah.
show that before we head into DNA and you.
Okay. I think this will work.
If you have it downloaded on your machine, all you have to do is share the actual video. It'd be really simple.
I think I can just share audio on my Google tab.
You can do that. You can do that as well. It's just a little more complicated.
Is it? Because I
I mean,
just did it.
whatever works for you is the
Can you
easiest.
guys see that? I think you can. Can
Mhm.
you hear it is the question.
Hello,
Yes.
can we be friends? No? You don't know me? I don't know you either, but maybe we could be friends. You want to come to have pets? I will pitch. I will scratch you behind your ears before you turn into what you will be next. You all look so cute. Come here, little kitty cow. Cow.
Aw.
I
Oh,
will
that's
name
cute.
you. Whoa, buddy. Okay. You're majestic. You are majestic and beautiful. Come hang out with me. I am so bored.
Come hang out with me. I am so bored.
It's better than being so gored. At least there weren't bulls out there.
I love when I called it a kitty cow. Hello, kitty cow. Come.
You never got around to naming it. You were like,
Hello.
I will name you, and then you got distracted.
It's because every once in a while they'd make really like uncomfortable noises, and I was told that
It's
sometimes
the same
cows,
reason you've never named me. just kidding.
What?
I don't know. It just popped into my head. It's fine.
What does that mean?
Because I make uncomfortable noises. I don't know.
Oh my god. Yeah. It could have gone all kinds of ways.
Well, let's get into the topics. D's got a topic. I've got a topic. I'm the A. You can give us whatever topic you want. Put a U at the beginning for your U question so that we can spot it quicker when we get there. Danae, what is your topic for today? I know it's kind of based on your
based on the story that I've told you guys. Who would you want to get stuck in the woods with? That's my question. So I got stuck in the woods with my dad, and I loved it. I loved hanging out with him and having time with him. He and I are both just kind of like, we can both just be chill people, as eccentric and like chaotic and energetic as I can be. I also enjoy just some straight up chill time. And so when I'm around my dad, it was that chill out time. When we were walking around looking for what could have punctured a tire, and even though it was like super boring in a way, it's just, I kept looking over at him being like, this is fun memory. This is a cool thing that we get to say that
memories.
we did. Yeah. And so I was glad to be able to spend some quality time with my dad. I don't think I've had time to spend with my dad like this in a long time. So I rather enjoyed that. And so my question was like, who would you want to get stuck in the woods with? And when I say anything goes, what I mean is, I know someone's going to be like, well, do they have to be alive? Nah, I mean, like, just get creative with it. Who would you want to be stuck in the woods with? Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, mine was my dad. That was my circumstance. But if I could choose, it might be somebody who knows how to survive in the woods. Maybe like that guy on TV, that bear guy or
Bear
whatever.
Grylls.
Yeah, maybe he'd be fun.
Lolly says Chris Hemsworth. He's Australian, so he can handle scary wildlife. And 2, he will be nice to look at while we wait for help.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
No argument from either of us, I'm sure.
Nope, that's a good one.
Nick says, I'd hang out with anyone who is a slower runner. just one qualification to be stuck in the woods with me.
Oh my God.
I have to be able to run faster than you. That's it. Check the box, yes or no.
Holy crap. That was unexpectedly hilarious. I really like Lolly's comment. No Bear Grylls because he drinks wee wee. What? Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, you can drink. I mean, drinking your own urine is a survivalist tip from a long way back. Like, there's nothing.
Oh yeah, everybody knows that.
there's nothing. Your urine is sterile. There's nothing that's going to harm you in there. You just have to get used to the taste and the temperature. just the psychological thing of, my body got rid of this and now I'm putting it back in. Over time, that
just trying to drink.
Yeah, go for it. Over time, that will become impossible.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Continue. Just like yeah, go for it. Yep.
Take a drink.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. No. Okay.
But yes.
Go back to the chat here. Oh, that was a you question from Dios. We'll skip that one. 8 says, I don't go out to the woods, so I would never get stuck. But why not an ent? Ooh, I love that one because anything goes. So,
yeah,
an ent, they just take forever to talk, but you have time. That's the other part about being in the woods. You've got nowhere to go, so you have time. Suddenly, you're not really frustrated about it. Get it out. We got to get going. Nope. Nope, you
Yeah.
got nothing but time.
Yep.
Jose says Bob from season 17 of Survivor. He seems like a cool guy, and also he has a lot of cool skills. Also,
True.
someone from Survivor would make a really fun game of it, I think.
It's possible.
I think instinctively they'd be like, all right, here's the challenge. We're going to string these things up between the trees, and then we're going to see who can launch this the furthest. I'm pretty sure.
Are you? Is that what would happen?
I'm pretty sure that's what would happen. Archimedes says, I think I'd choose someone with good jokes so I could get a giggle before I starve to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We did have
Yeah.
some snack bars, so that was good. Yeah. Oh, an ear, nose, throat specialist.
That's always a good idea.
There you go.
I think I would maybe get stuck in the woods with Jonathan Goff.
I don't know who that is, but that was a really big drink of beet juice that I just had.
Pea juice? What?
Beet juice.
Oh, okay.
I'm drinking beet juice today because my second shot is in a couple of hours, and I'm trying
nice. Congratulations.
I'm trying to prep my body for the influx of new substance.
I would be Jonathan Goff because then he could sing me the song from Frozen 2, Lost in the Woods, and then we could laugh about it and have a good time.
Oh my gosh, this is what Slab was meaning. An end.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I totally
ear, nose, and throat specialist.
Right, and I missed that completely. God, I'm dense.
No worries indeed. Jonathan, by the way, also is in Hamilton. I believe he is King whatever. All the people in England are very mad at me now because I don't remember the king's name.
King whatever. George?
Seems like it's probably George.
Frankenfurter?
Like and then also in
Snatch.
Mindhunter. Yeah. So he'd be fun.
So yeah, that was fun. What about you, Aaron? Let's go on to your topic.
All right.
What you got?
When's the last time life got flipped, turned upside down, and how did you cope?
So
you
let
thought
me tell
me
you about
being
Friday.
upside down was just a random thing, but it actually had to do with my topic.
Let me tell you about my Friday. So on Friday, I got stuck in the woods. This is a really great story, everybody. You have not heard it before.
There are those moments, right, in life where it's just like, oh, okay, this is going to be different for a while. And one of those always for us is dog sitting. We're dog sitting right now. And I have discovered the older I get, the more poorly I handle it. Like just internally, I'm just like, this dog is no problem. Cutest little Chihuahua, pretty much takes care of herself. Just got to let her out every once in a while. And doesn't take up a lot of space in the bed. And it's just still, I'm just like, dog in the bed. I don't want a dog in my bed. I can feel that dog's, I can't move my covers anymore. I'm just like, who are you, old man?
Why can't you move the covers?
Because she sleeps on top of the covers. She sleeps on top of the covers and
she's
her
like
little weight. I know, but it keeps you from like if I want to like yank the comforter, I'm going to like catapult her into the ceiling. So it's like, you remember playing with a parachute in gym class where you'd like do it real quick and like the ball would go. That would be the Chihuahua if I tried to yank the covers. I'm just saying.
Oh, you're so nice to not do that to the Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog sitting for you is interesting. You say yes because you are a good friend, but everything inside of you is like, no.
I love the creatures. Like they're adorable and cute, and it's like anything that takes me out of my pattern is just like, how dare you? Don't you understand? I have a well-worn path to my days. So yeah, it becomes a little bit interesting in that way.
I used to have a Saint Bernard, a pit bull, and then like a 35-pound mutt that looked like a tiny German shepherd, all in bed every night. So you would have hated that.
Yeah.
Because there's no moving. You're basically just you're in the bed, and you don't really roll around a lot because there's nowhere to roll.
Yeah. Yeah. So it just got me thinking, like, how do I better cope with it? Like, how do I better cope with those times where it's like, you know what, life's just going to be different for a couple days. That's okay, buddy. You're going to be all right.
Parachute day in gym class was the best, says
Absolutely.
Lolly. I loved that day, especially when
Mhm.
you got to go underneath the parachute.
Yep. It's
There
so
was
weird that we all had
why
that
was
same
it that
experience.
why
I
was it
don't.
that rush of excitement? It's like,
Yeah.
and then you sit on it and then you're just looking at everybody as
Mhm.
it goes. I think it was because everybody's smiling and having a good time.
Applicon says, I'm currently turning my life upside down to work day shift later this week. That's a great example. Like, how do you like cope with just, okay, it's going to be different. What do you tell yourself? How do you get through it? Like, because at the end of the day, it's so not like traumatic or an issue. It's just different. And it can just be, you know, difficult when it's just like that little ankle biting differences in your day.
Yeah. The question's almost twofold. When is your life upside down and how do you deal with it? Like
Yeah.
what kind of a approach do you take personally, I guess, to
Hmm. Yeah.
I think it's easy when you're like when you tell yourself this is just temporary. This is just temporary. One of the things JCD says, does all of 2020 count? Because I think all of 2020 should count.
You're not wrong.
Those are harder when you're like, okay, we're just gonna get to this month, and then it turns into a year,
That's what
and
I'm saying.
that
Yeah.
gets a lot. That
The
becomes a lot.
long term aspect of this last year, I think we are yet to see the ramifications psychologically on trying to figure out what new normal looks like or what getting back to normal looks like or all that. And then there are others who just never quit living the same way they lived the whole time. So you just never know where people have been for the last year. So yeah.
Applicant says, I cope by staying busy and remembering that I generally like the work that I do.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
is
think it's
important to tell yourself that, like, okay, I can do this. I got this. Breezy says, tell me I'm in charge of Easter dinner. Well, so she was told she was in charge of Easter dinner. So
Hmm.
then she's like, oh, apparently I have some work to do. But it
That's
was a
fun.
beautifully executed Easter dinner, by the way. Super
Yeah.
yummy. Great job.
Yeah.
Here is one from Selendamon. My life got flipped like 17 ways right before COVID hit. I lost my job in apparel manufacturing to foreign producers, nearly lost a piece of my finger, and got my business's website blocked on Instagram and Facebook. It took a solid 6 to 8 months to get back on my feet, but now I'm full time on my own businesses rather than working for someone else, and I've never been happier.
Yeah.
Sometimes those things happen and you're like, this is the worst. This is like the most terribly defining thing that's ever happened. And then something comes out of it that makes things even better. I remember when Aaron and I were just trying to figure out what we wanted to do with our radio career. And we had a lot of things that were happening that were, seemed to be determining the direction of our career. And we're like, this is not ideal. What do we do? And then we had to take big risks to sort of try to get
Mhm.
into a place where we had more creative control, creative freedom. And it was terrifying because it was like the worst stuff seemed to be happening. And it was just, it's hard to sometimes get perspective, I guess, because you're in it. So I'm glad that that turned out for the best for you.
It is a perspective thing. And, you know, it is amazing how sometimes, not all the time, and I don't want to make light of the times it doesn't happen.
Mhm.
But sometimes the worst things can turn into the best things. And that is definitely a shared common experience, throughout my life, through the life of others. And again, not all the time, but sometimes.
Right.
Most recently for us, we ended up having to get kicked out of our home that we'd been in here locally for several years. And it was a situation
was
where
bad.
there was a nasty divorce going on, and the house became a chip, that the house that we were renting became kind of a chip in that divorce proceedings and all this kind of stuff. And they basically said, you've got 30 days.
Yeah.
You got to be out of the house in 30 days with nothing before that. And so then it's like, do we find somewhere to, do we buy, do we rent, do we find somewhere to, rent while we're trying to figure out what to buy? And, we found the perfect house at the perfect price, and things just kind of fell into place. And 3 weeks later, we were in a new home, and it's one of the best things that's ever happened to us. But for those first 2 weeks, our world was crashing. Like, we were just like, we don't know where we're going to live.
Homeless
And
with 4 boys at home.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just
And
it's
that's where we had our studio. So it was like our
that's true.
livelihood was also there
Hmm.
to be able to broadcast from, and we didn't know how any of that was going to turn out.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it was like all in the 11th hour, it's just like it just all ended up kind of coming together.
Matt says, just left my current job after 10 years and adjusting to finding a new career, coping by trying to view it as a wide open opportunity for something new.
That's
Positive
good.
perspective is really important. And man, it's not always easy and everybody's built differently. Optimism is a personality trait, but it is also a choice. And making that choice is very difficult sometimes. But I really appreciate that that sentiment, Matt.
This one is from Slab, who said, had a sudden loss a week before Christmas last year, and I'm still trying to cope with it, but my Syncord and other online friends have helped me through it. I think that's another really important thing too, is trying to figure out where your resources are as far as the positive voices that can kind of speak into your life in a
Mm-hmm.
positive way. I mean, I think it's important to find people that support you.
Yeah.
And so sometimes echo chambers can be dangerous, but if they're encouraging you, that's not necessarily an echo chamber. It's someone who's trying to, be like care about what you're going through. And so a lot of times I think, especially now, it's so much easier to find online groups like what we're doing right now. You guys have like this little online community that started. And that's happens through forums and, websites like the ones that we're streaming to. So yeah, I'm glad you're able to do that. This one's from Pixie's Creations. I just keep myself busy with my pyrography, sketches, designs, music, and gaming with some friends. That's really important. So
Pyrography?
I know I said that wrong as soon as
No,
I
it's
said it.
I think you're right. I think it's pyrography, but I just
Pyro. No, I think it's pyro because it's fire. She does like burning into like she has wood and then she has like this really hot essentially pen and she burns designs into wood and they're beautiful. For those of you who are watching on YouTube and other places, if you're on Twitch, you can find her at Pixie's Creations. Super good stuff.
I think it would be pronounced pyrography.
I don't know.
Pyrography? Because pyrography seems weird to me. Pyrography.
Burnishing iron. Thank you. Thank you, Derek.
That is not how I would have pronounced it, but totally get it. Totally get it.
Good question. Good question. Good questions.
Yeah, so I think it's positive for all of us to just kind of think of those times, and maybe you're in one now where just and again, especially considering the last year, it would not surprise me if many of us are in one now.
Yeah,
And just trying to choose optimism and trying to choose hope, and
it's hard.
it is it's difficult sometimes, but it is one of the keys, I really believe, to kind of continuing on. So, ready for some you questions today?
Let's do it. Did you go back and
questions?
scroll through here? I'll get the banner. You go scroll.
Okay, sounds good. I'll scroll. I know there was one. I hope we didn't lose it. That was
Lose yourself
earlier.
in the moment.
There it is. Diabetes says Bob Ross had such a large impact on the world of art and had some of the best vibes. Question is, have you painted along with Bob Ross?
No, but I have been watching him on Twitch because they have a Twitch channel that will air him for the entire weekend. So you can like literally tune in with all these people in the chat talking about Bob Ross and all that stuff. And I have participated in a Bob Ross Twitch-a-thon, but I haven't painted one. Which I should. I do have acrylic paints and I do have canvas. So, and I do have brushes. Not his cool brushes. I have like the really small, slender ones that are more for Iris, like doing tiny pieces of art. So I probably would need to go just grab some cheap brushes so that I can try it out. Yeah.
My
But
answer is
I super agree with you. His vibe is the best because he's just so accepting. My brother, Kafidget on Twitch reminds me of him in the way that he teaches as he works. So my brother is a woodcrafter. He does wood turning and he's just a hobbyist. So he doesn't do it for, a living. But he talks as he works and he's so encouraging. Even if he messes something up, he's just like, well, that's how you learn. And he just kind of moves on and he just has like the super great perspective on building something or creating something. And so I call him the Bob Ross of wood turning. So if you
I
like that vibe, I would recommend a follow for him too.
I think Bob Ross is the like OG Twitch streamer. Like his whole vibe feels like Twitch. Like I watch what's the other guy you like that like makes monsters and like
Not Bush.
yeah, Not Bush.
He has that same vibe.
He's got that same vibe where it's just like I'm doing a thing and watch me do the thing. I bet you can do the thing too. You know, like there's just this real like welcomeness to a lot of Twitch creator channels like that that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for
but
sure.
I haven't painted. Have you painted, Aaron?
I have not, other than just doodling. I'm trying to think. Probably not since I was a kid. Have I even picked up paints to do anything like that? That is not where my outlet is. I don't think. Like it doesn't appeal to me. Like even just thinking about it now, I'm just like that seems like maybe a waste of time. Like,
perhaps painting is a waste of time.
Not painting in general. I love that people paint. For me, like the creativity of it, I would much rather write a poem. You know what I mean? Like that is how I would experience that same type of like world building creative like creation thing is with words, not with pictures. So that's just me. I'm a word guy. I love language. I love how it goes together.
No, not you.
So yeah, I would probably write more than I would ever paint.
What if you painted words?
Well, I mean, I showed my poetry where
mind blown.
I showed my poetry, which it does have a visual element to it, like some of the poems that I, will draw. But yeah, so you're not wrong. I do like expressing visually, but I don't know. Painting just doesn't seem like a good use of my time.
I get really nervous painting because I have very high expectations of perfection. Hey, can I show you guys something I painted?
Do it. Yeah, absolutely.
I was in a class for this and they sketched it first. So what you do is you send them a picture and then they sketched it in pencil. Then when you get to the class, they give you the colors and then it's up to you to paint it. And we had very little instruction. And I had very high expectations of myself. And this is one of the things I'm super proud of this.
Pulled it off the wall. Guys,
this is my St. Bernard Madeline. She's gone now. She's passed away. That's
really good. That's a really neat idea that they would like do the outline for you and then like you kind of it's a little paint by numbers, right? Like kind of feels that way, like next level
yeah.
The end.
They taught me things I didn't know because I'd never done it before. Mm-hmm. Like you start with the darkest color and so like I would paint the dark stuff first. And then you go back in and stuff. But they didn't like where there's blending, they didn't teach any of that. It was so nerve-wracking because I really wanted to do a good job and I'm so proud of it.
No, you did a great job. It looks amazing.
So
absolutely amazing.
Anyway.
Lolly says, you question, why did you have to talk about ticks? Now I need a second shower and I haven't even been outside.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Lolly. You do not need a second shower. It's okay. It was just words. It was just a conversation. Yeah. You should be all right.
I'm with you there. There are certain things that just get me itchy. It's been a struggle for me to focus, especially since the Lyme disease conversation started. It's just in the back of my mind. And I itch all over and it's been days. Mm-hmm. I have a weird, I think we all probably do this, but I have this weird thing where I just get twitchy. It takes me forever to calm down. So I'm with you.
I totally get it.
I'm with you.
Get it. JCD says,
let's go shower together. No, wait, that's not what I meant.
Would you rather fight 150 tick-sized cows, 50 leech-sized ticks, or 10 cow-sized leeches?
10 cow-sized leeches. No, wait. No, that's not it. I had that wrong in my mind. God, that is so scary.
I don't want any cow-sized leeches.
50? Mm-hmm. Well, no, I don't want to do that because they're so small. Mm-hmm. I would do 50 leech-sized ticks, and I would kill them with a blowtorch.
150 tick-sized cows, that wouldn't bother me at all.
What if you miss one, Aaron? What if you miss one? What,
What do you
oh,
mean miss one?
then,
They're cows. They're not
then
ticks.
you
They're
have then you
cows.
have like these little tiny little cows. And you can like, you know how they have those, they have those little ant farms. Like you just have like a little terrarium, but for your tiny little mini
Uh-huh.
cows.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Can you
You could
imagine?
call it like a cattle farm or something like that.
Yeah, but like a really tiny one. Okay, so instead of fighting them, I now want to just keep them, and I would like to do 150 tick-sized cows to keep.
Nick says, you question, I got a new 65-inch OLED, first new TV in 11 years, biggest I've ever had. What should I watch on it? Already watched Star Wars. It's a great question. I would recommend Soul. The movie Soul is incredible with that kind of contrast that OLED can give you, because there is a lot of bright color amidst dark backgrounds. In normal televisions, don't translate that very well because there's bleed over between the brightness and the dark. But the infinite contrast of the OLED TV actually makes that stuff just pop. Soul looked incredible on an OLED. So curious what brand you ended up going with. Usually people go with the LGs. But yeah, congratulations. OLED is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I would recommend Over the Moon.
It's a good choice
because
as well.
it's in space, so the blacks are going to be really beautiful, and then just the way that movie is created is such vibrant colors, and I really thought it was beautiful on my crap TV. It's not a crap TV; it's just not an OLED, so I can't even imagine what it would look like on an OLED. So.
Yeah, that is also a good choice. Animation in general does really great things with contrast like that, and can be really beautiful. But if you're thinking like live action, those kind of things, then yeah, there's lots of fun choices there as well.
Chris asks, assuming ticks and leeches are cow-sized, would you prefer a tick burger or a leech burger? Moving on.
But they're not cows; they're just
They're not
cow-sized.
cows. Yeah, it would just be bloodbath no matter what.
I don't want either one of those.
No.
I don't even want to think about either one of those.
Would you eat like grasshoppers though?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the legs that get me. It's the little legs.
No, I get it. The textures, I understand. I totally get it. I would eat whatever here's the thing. I have well-known taste issues where things don't taste good. But if I'm in a situation where I don't want to be rude, or where most people be grossed out, it's not, that stuff doesn't bother me. So you can eat pretty much anything.
Wow, guys. Just wow.
You have to fly to Russia. This is Jets Mets. What cartoon character are you bringing with you?
Cartoon character.
You have to fly to Russia.
Flying to Russia.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What was that? Boris Moose one
from Bullwinkle.
Bullwinkle. I'd bring Bullwinkle.
Natasha and Boris.
Yeah, because although I don't know that Bullwinkle knows how to communicate very well. Maybe.
What was his catch? What was Bullwinkle's catchphrase?
I don't remember.
Something about, was it pulling a rabbit out of a hat? Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Was that Bullwinkle or a squirrel?
I don't know.
It was Rocky the Squirrel and Bullwinkle, right?
All I remember, I don't remember.
Yeah, this is even before our time, right?
Yeah,
Bullwinkle was around even before we were. I think
it just popped into my head, and I just see the moose. That's all I see. Boris and Natasha. Boris. It's a long flight, says Judson. That's the point. The point is that it's a long flight. I see. It's not when you land.
The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle debuted November 19th, 1959. So yes, wow. that was well before.
It was a hot minute ago. Wasn't Bullwinkle the dumb one? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was a terrible poor choice.
Yeah. Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my head. I think it was something like that. I can't remember.
So what cartoon would you pick?
Cartoon character would I want to hang out with for a long flight to Russia?
Yeah. The thing is that like cartoon characters for me, they get annoying at about the 30-minute mark. So I'm trying to think of one that would be pleasant to be around. Like
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay,
I
like
have an
let's
answer.
go old school, like
I have an
something from
answer.
Winnie the Pooh, but like Eeyore's too whiny and
Right. No, I have
Piglet's
an
too
answer.
squeaky.
I'd like to hang out with Phineas. I think Phineas would be a blast.
Hmm.
We'd get into some conversations for sure, and probably invent something on the way over.
I
I think
don't
Phineas
know.
is my answer.
Okay. I'm having a hard time with this
Yeah,
one. This
and I
is
can tell you
difficult.
want to come up with one, so I'm trying to give you the time.
Maybe like Merida or something.
Yeah, I wondered about. See, I didn't consider. I
Is
eliminated like
Pixar?
movies
Oh.
because I was trying to think like like TV cartoons. Like
Okay.
cartoon to me means something different than animated character. But I because if you went with Pixar, I have obviously plenty of choices I could go with.
Probably like She-Ra then, right?
Oh, there you go.
I can go
There you
She-Ra,
go.
something like that.
She'd be cool for sure.
Superman could get you to Russia in no time. You'd be the best bodyguard. See, that's something smart. That's smart.
That's smart.
Why didn't I think of
There are
that?
definitely
There's so
superhero
many.
cartoons.
Oh my
yeah.
God, X-Men. There's so many. Holy crap. How did I not think of that? Oh.
Miguel says,
Storm,
you
maybe?
question, Hollywood decides to make the DNA movie. Who should play the two of you? I want to hear your choices for this. Because I don't really know.
Miguel, the thing about me is I don't remember people's names very well. So to be
Right.
like, oh, it's that one person from that one thing, with the thing and the whatnot. So
Mhm.
even if I could come up with something, it would be a guessing game for everyone and kind of annoying. It's hard to listen to me talk about television and movies unless I'm very specifically honed into
Right.
one thing because I can't pull it out of my imagination. I mean, I think people would say that whomever would play me would have to have an ability to act out the quirkiness and I don't know, they'd have to be able to have that. And so I can think of like people that I'm compared to, like Zoe Deschanel would be someone that people compare me to. And there are others as well that are kind of quirky. I was compared to Drew Barrymore a lot for a while there. But
Yeah, I've been compared to people, but like it's interesting, right? Because John Travolta used to be a go-to, but he's much as far as like other people saying like this kind of stuff. But I like this. Nick says Tom Hanks and Anna Kendrick. I think that makes a lot of sense. Matt says Timothy Oliphant as Aaron. I'd take that 100%. I'd take Timothy Oliphant. That'd be amazing. Oh, who's the other guy? Somebody else I'm thinking of. His name slips my mind, so I'll come back to it. Lolly says Bo Burnham could play a young Aaron. I do like Bo Burnham. JCD says bring back the cast of La La Land. So that'd be Gosling and Stone. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. Another vote for Hanks, and then you, Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza is an interesting choice for you, Danae.
I don't know
Danae
who
in the
these
movie.
people are. I know Tom Hanks is.
Parks and Rec.
Oh my goodness. Oh, the puppies. Oh,
No Clue says Natasha Lyonne. Decent choice. I like these. These are good. Yeah, so I think the Tom Hanks thing several people are saying for me makes sense on a personality kind of level. And he did just play Mr. Rogers, and I do get that a lot of times too. So yeah, I think that's good.
That's a fun one.
Mhm.
It's a fun one because like just see, remember that one show that we did that one time, and there was the robot, and then she's powerful. Oh, she's a witch, Scarlet Witch. Her name. And then, but she's an Olsen. There's she's Elizabeth.
You're gonna get there. You got it, Elizabeth Olsen. Look at you doing the thing.
Such a great thing to watch happen live. She just recently, was in WandaVision, and I have to say, her ability to play a quirky character at times, as she was kind of emulating, she was fascinating to me because there was a couple moments when she was truly like sparky, and I loved her. So maybe she would be a good one. Okay, I'm done.
Let's see. Secondary U question from JCD. And by the way, keep getting your U questions in if you have them. Aaron
we got a
has
little bit more time.
Yeah, Aaron
Just a little bit.
Aaron has COVID messed up your super taster abilities. I had it in December, and my sense of smell is still mucked up. No, I don't believe it has. I think aging continues to mute my super taster abilities, but that is something I was told would happen just because as you get older, your taste buds just kind of lose their potency and die out. So
Like all of our bodies, they just slowly begin to fall apart.
slowly become decrepit
Ugh.
until we die and go back to the earth.
There's so much to look forward to, everyone.
So I feel like it's pretty much the same. What I have also recently heard, I think either it was sometime this weekend, is that there's a new study that shows that for many people, a lot of the lingering effects of COVID are actually going away with the vaccine, which I found really interesting. So people are getting their taste and smell back that had lost it for 3 or 4 months after a couple weeks after getting the second vaccine. And so that's something I read this weekend. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying it's there's obviously a lot of study to be done, but I did find that interesting because COVID does have this thing with a lot of people where a lot of the stuff just lingers, lack of energy, those kind of things. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens there. But no, I don't think it is. I lost my taste for like 2.5 days. But I had also just gotten the first vaccine right when I had COVID. So there's that part of it as well. Let's see. What else you guys got? Looking through lots of comments on how awesome your artwork is, Danae.
Aw, thank you. I saw those. Oh, are we going to type on the computer? Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I don't see any other you questions. We have puppy dog time if you want. You want me to get my puppers? You want
Is your
Aaron?
puppers there?
Oh, of course. I'm the only one here.
Yeah, get the dog, man.
Even if she's sleeping?
Here's a question, Aaron. You're sailing up the Mississippi River. Who from Rick and Morty are you bringing? The banana guy.
The banana guy from Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Say hello, Ella.
Oh my goodness, look at that dog. Chihuahuas also always look like they're just like so freaked out or like super drugged.
Like skittish. Like they definitely have that
because they got the bulgy
energy.
eye thing going on.
Yeah.
Whereas Twix and Reese's, they're just like, hey, what's up? I was like, ah. That was interesting. So who would you take with you from Rick and Morty, Aaron? Oh my God. Oh my God, that poor dog. What a beautiful color, though.
Yeah.
A little butterscotch. Double puppy cam.
What is going on? All right, what was the question? I was distracted by the very large
You're on the
rat.
Mississippi River. Who do you take with you from Rick and Morty?
Oh, nobody.
That was
These
Ren
awful
from Ren and
people.
Stimpy. You're so right. 100%.
I think that's where Ren comes from. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to hang out with anybody from Rick and Morty.
You can tell that I'm back to controlling the comments, guys.
If you force me to, then I guess I go with the dad because he seems like, I don't know, the nicest, but
He does seem the nicest.
But I don't know. They seem like all awful people to me.
Well, guys, just a reminder, we go live every Monday at 9 a.m. Central, right here, wherever you're watching. You can subscribe across platforms because that's just how we're doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you can follow us on socials. We are mostly just on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. But pretty much, you can just find us here on these platforms. We couldn't do this without our patron supporters. So a massive shout out to all of you who are supporting our Studio DNA. We started a podcast network accidentally years ago. And we've helped people launch podcasts. Some of them put their podcasts on our network. Some of them join other places or just start their own. But we have a passion for helping people find their voice and figure out how to make it happen and give like outlines and stuff. So we started it under the Studio DNA branding. And that's why our Patreon is patreon.com/studiodna, where we produce all kinds of things, including this show, The Morning DNA with Aaron and I. And thanks,
Mhm.
guys, for hanging out with us. We do try to go live other times throughout the week if we are able to. And now that we're kind of through a very crazy 3 months, we might be able to start doing that more frequently. But if you can't catch our other shows, you can always watch VODs on our Twitch channels. Aaron has one, I have one, and you can see all of those scrolling along the bottom. But for those of you that are listening on the podcast, you can find Aaron at Aaron Dicer on Twitter, me at Danae Says. You can follow our show at Aaron and Danae on Twitter. And then all the various ways that we go live, you can read about that on Patreon. Did I miss anything, Aaron?
No, I think you got it all. We love you guys. It is so cool that 30 to 40 of us just hang out every Monday morning and also Sunday mornings when we pop in. It's very much one of my favorite things. And thank you for being part of it. We do love you guys and appreciate you.
For those of my friends that are watching live on Twitch, we're going to be rating DD Fine Art today. This is somebody who does incredible pencil drawings. And I think you're really going to enjoy the chill vibe. So at the very least, check them out and hopefully give them a follow. And thank you guys so much. I will see you on Monday.
And for those that are following on my Twitch, I have no idea what rating means. And I apologize. I'm not very much in the Twitch community.
I'm getting better at it.
But do what Danae says and go raid stuff. Because I guess that's okay on Twitch to raid. Love you guys. We'll see you the next Monday or someday.